Good morning, Kid Church families. Hope everyone is having a great Sunday. I'm here with Nathan, and we're going to talk a little bit about the gospel reading that you just heard. So, before we get too much into it, I have a question for you. Do you have a favorite superhero? If you do have a favorite superhero, I want you to tell whoever you're sitting with right now who your favorite superhero is. All right. Now that hopefully you've told who your favorite superhero is, I want you to think about your superhero's name. Okay. And Nathan, I have a question for you. Who is your favorite superhero?
It's Batman as a bat.
Okay, Batman. Now, does Batman have another name?
Yeah, so mostly superheroes have their costume every time, but instead when they're if they have a secret hideout when they're in there, or like when there's where they stay, they take off all their suits that make them another name. And for Batman, when he's in his bat cave, his real name of without all his suit stuff, and when he's just a person, his name is Bruce Wayne.
Okay, so Bruce Wayne is Batman's other name. It's like his normal name, and then Batman is his superhero name. And this is the case with a lot of superheroes. Like Spider-Man is also Peter Parker, that's his real name, or Superman, his real name is Clark Kent. So all these superheroes that we know about, they have their normal name, and then they have their superhero name. In the story that we just heard about Jesus, he kind of had two names too. So if you remember, Jesus comes up to his friends, he comes up to the disciples, and he asks them, do people know who I am? Like all the people around here, do they know who I am? And the disciples said, no, they don't. You know, they are giving the wrong answers. They're not really sure. They don't know. And Jesus was like, uh-oh. So he asked the disciples, well, do you know who I am? And luckily they did. Peter said, you are the Messiah. So Peter knew who Jesus was. He knew him as his teacher, but he also knew him as the Son of God. Now, when we think about our superheroes, we know who they both are, right? We know Bruce Wayne and we know Batman, but do all the people in the story who are like in the movie or in the book, do they know who both people are?
Not really, because if people just watch them go, they might not know what their true name is. If people follow them to their base, they might say who's their name, or that, or like Green Lantern. That's a hard one to guess.
So the people who do know both Batman and Bruce Wayne, it's not just the people that kind of know who he is, it's the people that are really close to him, right?
Yeah.
The people who follow him, his closest family and stuff like that. They know who both Bruce Wayne and Batman are. And that's kind of what happened with Jesus. It was his really close group that knew who he was because they followed him. They listened to him. They were going wherever he was going and trying to learn from him. And that's how they were able to know who Jesus really was. And so what we want to do is kind of learn from what Peter did. Now, Peter ended up going out and telling people who Jesus really was. And so we kind of have two jobs here. We want to do what Peter did and go around and tell people about Jesus, tell them who Jesus really is. But also, like Peter, we want to we want to keep following Jesus. We want to keep learning from Jesus. So in order to do that, we want to talk about him. That's why we read his stories in Kid Church and in other different Sunday school sort of situations. We want to talk about the stories and learn from them. Because the more we learn about Jesus, the more we can teach it to other people as well. So just like we learn about our superheroes, right? We watch their movies, we read them in our books, and we learn all about the different superheroes. We want to do the same with Jesus. We want to learn about him and talk about him and discuss his stories so that we can make sure everybody understands. Does that make sense? Yeah? Okay.
Yeah.
Do you have something else to say?
Not really.
Not really? All right. Well, then I hope you guys have a great Sunday. Thanks for listening. Bye.